You don't need a lot of fancy gadgets to make hollandaise. You just need a lot of butter and a good attitude. And the key word, butter. I don't really know why, but people love making hollandaise in a blender or with an immersion blender. First thing is, I don't want to clean out a blender. I hate cleaning blenders. Second thing is, you're eliminating a whole demographic of people who don't have those tools just to save like 3 minutes off your timeline. There's nothing wrong with the new school way, but I'm an old school kind of guy when it comes to hollandaise. Because at the end of the day, all you need is a pot, a bowl, and a whisk. If you got that, you can make hollandaise. Now, let's do it.
Okay, I might have lied a little bit when I said this was old school. A lot of people stream in melted butter. I just find it easier to use cubed cold butter, but we'll get to that later. Anyway, you're gonna start by bringing a small pot filled with about 1 inch of water to a light simmer to create some steam. Next, you're gonna separate 4 egg yolks and place each yolk into a medium-sized bowl that fits into the simmering pot of water without touching the bottom. That's very important. You just want the steaming the bottom, that's it. Now you're gonna place your bowl back on top of your pot of steaming water, and then you're gonna add 1 teaspoon or 4 grams of water, half a teaspoon or 2 grams of sugar, a pinch of salt, half a tablespoon or 7 grams of lemon juice. And you're gonna whisk that for about 30 seconds, and then you're gonna take it off of the heat and then continue whisking it until it becomes a little bit lighter in color. Place it back on the heat and then continue whisking until the eggs thicken just a little bit. You don't want to thicken it too much, just a tiny bit so that you can run your finger through it, and it takes a little bit of time for it to come back together. That part should only take about a minute or two. Now, once that's done, while continuously whisking, you're going to add 3/4 of a cup plus 1 tablespoon or 182 grams of unsalted cold butter cut into cubes. That was a mouthful. You're gonna add it bit by bit. Don't throw it all in at once. Just add a cup, like 2, 3, maybe 4 cubes of butter at a time, allowing it to melt and emulsify before adding the next batch of butter and the next batch of butter. And you're gonna continue doing that until all of the butter is added. And do make sure that you're continuously whisking while doing this. Do not stop whisking until it's fully emulsified. Now at this point, your hollandaise should be done, but if for some reason it's not thick enough, just keep whisking it over that heat and maybe take another 30 seconds or so. And then transversely, if it's a little too thick, you can add a little more lemon juice to thin it out. With that said, you're gonna wanna season it more with salt and lemon juice to your taste. If you want more acid, add a little more lemon juice. If you want more salt, add a little more salt. There's nothing wrong with that. Once that's done, you need to keep it warm, so go ahead and pour it directly into a thermos or some sort of cup that keeps things hot, if that makes sense. If you let this stuff go cold, it's gonna get super duper thick, and you don't want that. So try and serve this within 1 hour of making it while keeping it in a thermos. Now the first obvious option for hollandaise would be eggs benedict, so you're gonna add a splash of white vinegar to a pot of lightly boiling water. You don't want a rolling boil, but you want a light boil, kind of like a vigorous simmer. I don't really know what I'm saying right now, but you get the point. See, that's what it looks like. Now, with an egg already cracked in a bowl or a ramekin, use a spoon and make a little whirlpool in your pot of water. Make sure that the whirlpool is going in the center, and it's a strong whirlpool because this is what's going to help wrap the whites around the eggs so they don't go all over the place. And once you get a nice whirlpool, you're going to slowly dip that bowl into the water and pour your egg out into the center of the whirlpool. Then momentum will do the rest. And that's a poached egg. Do that with as many eggs as you need for your eggs benedict. Now there are other ways to do it. I'll have a link down below to one of my old poached egg videos, so don't laugh at me. You can click on that to see some other methods. Then just fry up some ham or Canadian bacon over medium heat on both sides until you get a nice little brown color. And as with all eggs benedict, you're gonna need English muffins. Fork split. Always split with a fork so you get those nooks and crannies, bro. And please don't forget to toast it. Now here's the order. Toasted English muffin, then ham, poached egg, gently, then glaze with hollandaise to your heart's desire. My hollandaise was a little thick here because it had been sitting out for a little longer than I wanted it to, but you get the point. Finish with some finely chopped chives and some freshly ground black pepper. Like I said, the most obvious way to use hollandaise, but what other ways can you use hollandaise? And my answer to that would be just about anything savory that you want to add a buttery richness to. If you got a light fish that you just cooked, add it to that. You got some freshly blanched asparagus, add it to that. Roasted broccoli, add it to that. Literally every vegetable under the sun, add it to that, dude. Anything. Dip your French fries in it. That's also really good.
All right, guys, and that is it. Hollandaise. You did it. Or, well, if you follow along and do it, you did it. It is a good sauce to know. I believe it's a mother sauce. I want to say it's one of the French mother sauces. Please be right. Please be right. The 5 basic mother sauces of French cuisine. Hollandaise is a I just taught you one of the 5 fundamental sauces of French cuisine. I'm gonna stop now. If you enjoyed this video or you learned something, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you next week.